Welcome to Thirst Impressions podcast. I'm Spencer. This week we're making a rum-based cocktail, and I'm drinking Red Nephew White Overproof Rum. It's 63% alcohol.
Woo!
I am drinking Plantation's 5-year rum, and I don't know how much alcohol it is.
Who the fuck are you?
Right now. Oh, I'm Belinda. Sorry.
Okay.
And I am Will, and I am drinking Sugar House Silver Rum. It's quite delicious.
Yeah.
Very nice. Local. I appreciate that, Will. I'm Kevin, and I am drunk.
What are you drinking, Kevin?
And I'm drinking... I'm drinking Plantation as well, but I'm drinking Plantation's pineapple.
Why does it say
and it's
antation?
delicious.
Looks like it says antation.
There you go.
Oh, look how close the P and L are.
I know. It looks like it says
That's
antation.
uncomfortable. Oh, and look how low it is. Oh dear,
It is
that's
super
all.
low.
That's the wrong way.
That's just bad.
Now I'm
design.
thinking, what if tiny ants made liquor? It was antation. So what are you drinking this week?
Something delicious, for
Something
sure.
delicious. Actually, it's
Yeah,
kind of a weird question
let's
because
see.
I'm the one talking.
You're the one that picked it, right, Spencer?
Yeah. So this week we're drinking a winter cocktail. And unlike other cocktails, I don't really have a frame of reference or history for this one. So the winter cocktail for me was kind of an early beverage. I was curious about drinking after leaving Mormonism, and I just wanted options. You know, I think this was shortly after we became friends, Kevin. And I found this app, and it had a bunch of recipes, and it's actually pretty cool. You can just put in an ingredient, and it'll suggest some drinks. So it suggested this drink called a winter cocktail. And basically it's a rum-based cocktail. So if rum's an interesting one. I don't know if this is scientifically provable or definite that different alcohols affect you differently, but I feel different on different alcohols. So maybe it's psychological. Anyhow, so the winter cocktail.
No way.
There's no
It's
way.
definitely scientific. Come on.
You think so? I mean, because whiskey Spencer is different from vodka Spencer. I mean, the episode we did with the Moscow Mules, I almost passed out. But
Whenever I get wine drunk, I just get like so calm and relaxed.
wine drunk is
Really?
a special drunk, and we have a treat
Yes.
coming up for you guys in a future episode.
Yes. Listen close, listeners. Yeah.
That's right. So
Are we
winter
announcing this
cocktail-
or no?
No. We
Oh,
can't give
okay.
it all away, man. Gotta keep
That's
that
true.
poker
Yeah,
face.
save a little.
So the winter cocktail is pretty simple. Recipe provided as always in the podcast description and video description as well. So basically you just mix. If you have your Boston shaker, you're going to need your jigger as well. So Boston shaker. I'm making the version. We're going to make two different versions. Kevin's got a version. Kevin and Belinda's got a version. Then I'm going to make the one that I am used to. So 2 ounces of rum. Okay. So I'm drinking Ray and Nephew rum today. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast. I'm from Jamaica. So this is a Jamaican rum, Ray and Nephew. It's overproof, meaning it's 63% alcohol by volume.
It's fuck you up rum.
It's fuck you up
rum.
That's right. It's
All right,
fuck you up.
I have a total newbie question.
All right.
When we're using the Boston shaker,
Uh-huh.
do you put it in the big shaker or the small one?
You know, I
I always
whatever.
mix everything in the baby one,
Interesting. I just go back
and then I
and
fill the
forth.
big one with the
I
ice,
like to-
and then I pour it in.
Oh, okay. So you're all professional and shit. I usually mix it in the big one. I'll just pour the ice first and then pour stuff. But Kevin, maybe you have a few tidbits on technique.
So Kevin's tip, only the tip
Just the tip.
this week is,
This week on
and I
Just
don't
the
know,
Tip.
this is just my own, this is just from my own experiential, knowledge.
Yeah.
I like Belinda said, will pour first all of the liquid into the small side of the shaker. And then I'll put the ice in the big side, and then I'll take the small side and pour it in over the ice as I pop down the lid. And then that way I'm not letting the liquid like kind of start to melt the ice too early and water down my drink too much.
Sounds very sensual. Pop down the
And
lid.
then I shake.
Mm.
Pop that lid. Pop it
That
if you
lid.
got
Just
it.
the tip with Kevin. That was just the tip with
So-
Kevin.
Exactly. Did you finish the recipe?
No, so we
not yet.
got
We're just
2
getting
ounces
started.
of rum.
2 ounces of rum
Let's
of your
drink,
choice.
though.
What rum are you guys using today?
I am using a Sugar House Silver Rum.
Okay, I
Local,
think
nice.
That's a local rum.
See how it is.
All right.
They're
I'm
one of our
using-
sponsors.
And
No,
Will, this
not
is your
really.
first time drinking rum, right?
It is. This
Okay.
is my very
Wow.
Did you taste your rum before committing to the cocktail?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't.
Okay.
I smelt it. It smells good.
So rum.
Rum is different. How is rum
Go
made?
ahead. Yeah, rum's more of a sugarcane based alcohol. So like in say bourbon, you use corn to get the sugar, the starches,
Vodka is
to
potatoes. right?
create the alcohol. Well, it can be potatoes. It can be a variety. And usually, like each type of spirit, there has to be a primary ingredient to make it
Okay.
officially that, right? But then you can use lots of things. Rye whiskey, obviously the primary
rye.
ingredient's rye.
Yep.
Et cetera, et cetera. So with rum, probably the first and most important alcohol of America in its history and its early history is primarily made of sugar cane. And a lot of times, especially back then, that sugar cane was made in or grown rather. And a lot of times even the rum was made down in the Caribbean.
By
Which,
slaves.
As we know, because our history is primarily made up of white history, Christopher Columbus, the god that he is, came to and discovered America. But the reality is he really didn't come to the continental United States. He came to the Caribbean and we called it America, but
Murdered all the
we just make up history.
natives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I am from Jamaica, and Columbus, he came in, rolled through, murdered all the natives, and then they basically took over. So super messed up.
Yeah. So on that fun note,
Sorry, on that dark note, don't let Kevin talk.
Has everybody
guys. Come on.
measured out their drink ingredients?
All right.
I,
Back to the
I
recipe.
only have the rum.
Oh,
Back to-
Will.
Back to the recipe. So 2 ounces of rum. If you've got a jigger, I actually discovered that my jigger here is 1.25 ounces. So I've been making heavy cocktails. Yeah.
Just nice.
Making it heavy. Good.
What
I
rum are
should've
you
made
and
mine a
you and
little
Belinda
stronger.
using, Kevin? Or do you want to hit that later?
Yeah, no, we can
No,
talk about it
it's
now.
like-
Go ahead, Belinda.
So I have the Plantation 5-year rum that I'm using. So
Okay.
it's a very good one.
I also have Plantation, but it's actually their pineapple rum. This
So
recipe
good.
doesn't call for the pineapple rum, but it's what I had on hand and it's delicious to the taste. So I'm going to go with it.
And very desirable.
Very desirable,
Very.
as always. So let's keep Will going. We'll need
So
also
2 ounces
some
of rum.
lemon juice.
You need 2 teaspoons of simple syrup. All right. So simple syrup is basically just sugar water. You can make it at home. It's pretty easy. Kevin actually taught me that because I remember when we first met, I was like, Kevin, where can I get some simple syrup? He's like, dude, you can just make that.
It's literally sugar and water.
And
Right.
I remember I was like, hey, Kevin, where do I get sweet and sour mix or sour mix? And he's like, you just make it.
You just don't buy that. You
Yeah.
just leave that on the shelf.
Yeah.
Homemade is much more delicious. Yeah.
Okay. So 2 ounces of rum, 2 teaspoons of simple syrup. And then we're going to use ginger liqueur. All right. So a little special thing I bought. I have, let's see, this is from New Deal Distillery, ginger liqueur. Will has the one that I like to use.
So
as
fancy.
well. Canton.
I spilled mine down the
This
front.
one's out. This one's
Sorry.
more expensive, I think. So I was like, let me just try it out.
Where did you get that, Spencer?
Just a liquor store. I think it was the holiday store.
Really? I've never
I've
seen that
never
before here
seen
in
it.
Utah.
Yeah.
This is pretty much the one you usually can find
Yeah.
in liquor stores, and it's good. It's good.
This one has a really strong flavor though, so I really like it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So if you want, you could swap out the simple syrup for the ginger liqueur. It's going to make it more ginger and less sweet. So
Yeah.
if you prefer a less sweet cocktail, you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and just measure mine in my jigger, just about 1/2 ounce here.
Just a
And
1/2
then-
ounce?
Yeah. So I got my simple syrup.
No, most of the liqueurs are that way.
Yes, they're
as you
pretty
said,
sweet.
Spencer.
Yeah.
As you get fancy with your cocktails, they're quite sweet. And if you really love ginger, there's nothing wrong with swapping out a little, as long as you drink responsibly, obviously, a little like say ginger liqueur if you love ginger for your simple syrup. You're still going to get the sweetness that you want, and you'll get that extra flavor. I'm a huge fan of blackberry liqueur, and I've occasionally done that.
Oh my god, dude,
good.
that stuff's good. But it's so fucking expensive.
And
It's expensive, but it's delicious.
It's
yeah.
so
if you're
good.
like me, oh, go ahead, Spencer.
Oh, there's a gin-based cocktail called a Bramble that's really good with
That is good.
blackberry
Yes,
liqueur.
yes.
I love it, but it's too easy to drink, so
It
I'm in
is.
trouble.
I
right,
wasn't
so-
able to make it to the liquor store, so I just made a ginger simple to use in mine, and I just upped the rum just a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Just a lot.
So this cocktail is interesting because it does require a different technique. So we're gonna do a wet shake like we do, but we're gonna finish it with bitters. All right.
Okay,
Kevin, do you want
so we
to
got
talk
so we
about
got
the different?
2 ounces of rum, 2
Yep.
tablespoons of simple syrup,
Uh-huh.
a half ounce of ginger liqueur,
Yep.
and now we're gonna shake it up.
Yes. So
Ah.
wet shake. So grab some ice, put it in your Boston shaker. I'm using the Belinda Madsen TM technique here,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna pour my
You got-
mix into the bigger shaker.
Nicely
All
done.
right. And then we're gonna shake. So the technique here is you want to do your wet shake and pour, and then we're gonna finish off the cocktail with Angostura bitters. I almost said bitters. Bitters, like a pretentious asshole. Bitters from Nevada. So we're gonna finish it with Angostura bitters. Okay. Every time I do these shakes, I'm like, I look like I'm jerking off on camera. So
Yeah, you guys crack me up.
That's why you got to put it up high,
yeah, that's
Spencer,
right.
so we know.
I'm just glad I had that shake weight to practice here. All right. So typically served in a martini glass. I'm just going to use I guess this is kind of a coupe. So I'm going to use this little heavier coupe here. And just strain this in.
I will teach you a little secret too. If you accidentally poured a little heavy and say you filled your glass and you have some left over, well, don't waste that shit, right? It's good stuff. Take your strainer and just strain off any excess in your smaller coupe, or sorry,
so
your
it doesn't
smaller
get watered down.
shaker side. Otherwise, it's going to keep melting that ice that's in there and not be good.
Unless you-
now I have a
unless-
half ounce more to pour on the top.
That's true. Unless you use overproof rum, and then it's
Then
okay.
you're not
You'll
too
be
worried.
fine.
Yeah, you'll be all
You'll be
right.
fine. All right. So I've got my cocktail here. One of these days I'm going to fuck up my laptop making these drinks, but I've got my cocktail here. So now what we're going to do is take the bitters and finish the cocktail. So
How much?
Just one
a teaspoon?
teaspoon.
A couple shakes is good.
Yeah, a couple shakes.
Okay. So I am making one that's slightly different. Just because on the website we got the recipe from, there's actually kind of a couple different versions and they're very similar but slight differences. Mine also uses 2 ounces of Jamaican rum. Mine uses 3/4 ounce of fresh lime juice, a half ounce of simple, and then 1/6 of an ounce or 5 ml of ginger liqueur, and then also 5 ml of pimento dram or allspice dram, and then the Angostura bitters on top.
Which is interesting to me because pimento allspice it's a Jamaican Caribbean spice, so
Right.
it makes sense that it would pair nicely with the rum.
And you probably, unless things have changed, can't get it in Utah without special ordering. I will not talk about where I got mine.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Not self-incriminate.
Forgot an
But you
ingredient, guys.
can find it in places like Las Vegas or
I can't believe I did
wherever.
that.
What'd you
Will,
do?
Don't drink yours yet. You're gonna hate it. You got to put some lemon juice in.
Oh, you forgot the
forgot.
Skip
citrus.
the lemon juice.
I was going to mention that. I was like, did I hear citrus?
Yeah,
back in there?
How much lemon juice?
3/4 ounce.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you want to hate life. So I totally fucked up mine, but Belinda.
But if it's your first drink of the
There's the
night,
right it's all good. We'll do another one. It's all good. So recipe posted as always. You guys
I'll
can
pretend like I didn't have a sip. Yeah.
check it out. See if you like it.
And we'll post both recipes if you happen to have pimento jam or are not in the state of Utah and can easily pick it up, then it's a nice option.
All right. So I'm going to have to reshake mine. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have that nice finish.
That's all right.
I'd love the bitters to kind of cut through the sweet.
Yeah.
As the finish, but it'll be fine.
Even the aroma of it, like a little bit right on the top, is nice just to give you that first bit of flavor in your nose.
All right. See, this is why I don't do these presentations, Kevin.
But like mine's, see, I don't have a cool glass like you guys.
Yeah, we need to work on that. We'll get you some from the old.
I've got the collection over here.
I know it's growing. That's nice. I love it.
I just need the glass collection now.
Cheers, friends.
Cheers.
All right, there we go. Oh, so good.
You know, it's really actually an appropriate week to have a cocktail called Winter. The Winter cocktail. It snowed. It snowed like a motherfucker here.
It did snow.
The mud snowstorm.
Unfortunately,
you're acting like that's a surprise.
Well, we've been pretty dry this winter so far. Nobody likes dry things, so no. Unfortunately, a couple people passed away, or not a couple people. I think four or five people passed away in avalanches over this week. But did any of you? Was it just here? Did anybody else have the experience of going out the day after the big snow, and as the snow melted off of your car was covered with like
mud snow?
It looked like you'd driven through giant mud puddles and just covered your car in mud.
What I've heard is people are calling it snert. Snow dirt.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah,
how does this happen?
For those of you who don't live in snowy climates and you happen to be listening to this, there's always dirty snow in Utah. But what was peculiar about this is it was actually the precipitation itself was dirty.
Right.
And we've always struggled so there's kind of a bowl or valley here. And there's always been what's called an inversion, which is pollution gets trapped. So people live here, there's industry. It's a red state. There's not very many regulations on emissions, things like that in industry and for automobiles. And so pollutants tend to get trapped. What was interesting this year is that the precipitation itself, the snow itself, it captured some of the dust that naturally happens as wind
fell
blows
down through
the
pollution.
Yeah, it fell down through the pollution. So like Kevin said, we woke up, at least I went out to my truck and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was wild.
I was surprised. I had no, like, I just drove through the snow and then all of a sudden my car's super dirty. What the heck?
I didn't even drive. And it's hard to even describe, but it was like just a film of dirt on your vehicle.
Yeah.
Really weird.
And all the car washes yesterday had lines like around the block.
Even today.
So I didn't go. I was like, oh my, that's terrible. I'm not going to wait in that line. So my car still looks really.
I thought I could wait till Sunday being Utah and all, but there were still lines today. So I just went anyways and toughed it out. But yeah, it was interesting. I had a similar experience in Utah maybe 17 years ago. And there was so much inversion and it was during the winter, that it was almost like the pollution froze and was falling in this like dust-like form. It was really weird. Kind of yellowish. It was, kind of gross.
That's why they were like, don't eat the snow. Just don't eat it. I know, you want to stick your tongue out and catch snowflakes on your tongue. Don't do it. It's toxic.
So that's it. It's frustrating when you have, people who deny the reality of our impact as humans and what we're doing. And literally there's evidence
falling in the sky.
I mean, there's even evidence with like how the lack of snow this whole entire year.
That's today was, I think it was 55 degrees today or something.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but kind of unusual. I'm like, should I be feeling good about this? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm worried about what the drought will be like in the summer because what is it? I read somewhere. I'm gonna get these numbers all fucked up, but it's like some crazy stat. Like 80% of the water that we drink comes from
the snow melt.
Melt from the mountain.
We have all of those rivers and whatnot that hold the water as it's coming down off the mountains, and that's where we get our water. So
the reservoirs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like I'm glad for the good weather, but yeah, it's a little scary. It's not like when it gets to like 40 here, I'm like okay with it because I'm like, oh, it's probably cold up in the mountains still. But yeah, 55, it's like, yeah.
And that's probably why I mean, I'm not I'm not a snow expert or anything, but I do know that the temperature variations do cause issues with snowpack and snow sliding and causing avalanches. And
yeah,
4 people lost their lives as they were backcountry skiing this year or this week. Really sad. And they were in their 20s.
Right.
Yeah.
So sad.
I mean, don't you have to be to backcountry ski? Now, I mean, I know,
man.
I know there's people of all ages that do extreme sports.
I just don't fuck with any of that, man.
That shit scares me. Like, I mean, I don't ski, so of course it scares me. Like, a bunny hill scares me, but that kind of stuff, I have no interest in it because I don't want to die. So there you go.
Oh my God. The one time I've been snowboarding, I fucked up my knee and ended up getting surgery. So I just haven't gone.
Do you snowboard or ski, Belinda?
No, I like to do things where my feet are firmly planted on the ground.
This is a winter sport free zone.
I like to do things.
And we live in Utah. It's weird.
Being cold the whole entire time. I don't like being cold.
No.
Okay, so I have this thing. Some of you maybe have heard me say it before. White people trying to die, and I say I say that flippantly, but you know I do recognize that people lost their lives this week, so I'm not making fun of them.
Right.
But
white people and their affinity for extreme sports.
Like well, here's the thing. It's like as a black person, I got shit to worry about if I get pulled over or how I'm carrying myself, if someone's gonna call the cops, whatever. Like I'm worrying about all that. I don't need to put my life in extra danger to have fun.
Right.
I'm already getting that adrenaline rush every
God.
And my minority friends, my friends of color, we talk and we're just like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, why are you doing this? Slacklining over a canyon, or you're like jumping out of a fucking plane or jumping off a cliff. I'm like, are you fucking insane? Is life so good that you're like, hey, you know what? Let's fuck shit up today.
Oh my God.
If I die, I've pretty much every advantage and done every good thing already. So in my 23rd year or whatever, it's all good. I can die, it's fine. I don't want to die, so I'm gonna stay off the slopes and out of the backcountry. I have learned, not learned, it's walking. But I have found that I really enjoy winter hiking or snowshoeing, just to get out, especially when the inversion that Spencer talked about is kind of holding this pollution down in the valleys here. Oftentimes you can drive up in the mountains and literally get above the pollution layer. And it's just so nice, especially we haven't this year. And I feel like we haven't for a few years. Maybe I'm misremembering, but we usually seem to have a 2 to 3 week stretch where it's kind of in the 20s for a high, or maybe, the upper 20s, low 30s for a high, but it doesn't really get above freezing for 2 or 3 straight weeks.
Especially in January.
Yeah. It's so it's weird that we didn't get so much of that yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully we don't get too cold, but I do enjoy getting outdoors. It's not that I like taking pictures. I like walking around and seeing wildlife and like experiencing that. So I still feel like I'm a Utahn because I do that. But yeah, like jumping on something that's intentionally it's extremely slippery.
It's one thing it's one thing to camp. We all had a yurt adventure. It's one thing to camp. It's another thing to like say, I'm gonna fucking climb up this rock face without support, or I'm gonna
ice climbing.
I'm gonna fucking ice climb or snowshoe or whatever. I'm just like, no, are you? Oh my God. What?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
I am jealous. My employer has mine and Will's employer has a pass, a season pass for skiing, and you can go. spot or whatever up there. And I'm always like, damn, it'd be nice, because it's almost like a good excuse to just take a day off. You're like, oh no, I'm working today. I'm just using the company's
Yeah. So on the one
know?
hand, it's like it's exercising privilege in the sense that you have the means to do it, but then it's like life is so fucking good, I can put my life at risk. Like it's just always been weird to me.
Yeah, I think there's also like a economic. I think you said that, but like there's kind of an economic thing of it too.
It's
where
expensive.
Exclusivity. Yeah.
Like skis kind of cost a lot. Rock climbing equipment costs a lot. Like bikes,
You have to have a car to get up there. I mean, I guess you could Uber up, but even then,
you can take the bus. Even in Utah,
you could take the bus.
That's like one of the lone things we do in Utah. That's like public transportation friendly.
Right.
Is we actually have very good bus lines. From what I understand, I've never used them
for skiing.
But for skiing, like park and ride stuff all over the place. And it's because it's industry, right? And it's driving the economy in Utah. But
and it's free too.
Follow the profit.
Follow the profit.
The FIT profit. Yeah.
Beyond even like extreme sports, like I don't even like falling on my ass. It hurts. I don't want to do that. Like
no one does. Yeah.
I don't like sports, period. Wasn't there a sports thing today or something?
All like anti-sports.
Sports ball. I know. It's
to be clear, I'm not.
No, Kevin isn't.
I'm not completely anti-sports. Well, I used to be really into sports. Yeah. I don't follow a lot of sports anymore, but like at all. Baseball a little bit, and don't get me started. I know everyone hates baseball, but me.
Baseball.
I enjoy live games.
Good sport.
Live games I can do. I can't just sit and watch baseball or watch golf. I could watch basketball, but there's just something about sports to me that just feels like a waste of time. But that's just me. I'm not saying objectively it's a waste of time, but for me personally. So I always check out.
And I feel like I've gotten some clarity in that through the pandemic and COVID and all of this in terms of well, I know a lot of people, and I'm not trying to put down those people, like to each their own, right? Like everyone's different, but I know a lot of people gain some sense of like comfort or normalcy or whatever through some of the sports coming back in different ways and whatnot during the last year. And that's great for them. But for me, it was like kind of panic inducing. Like a lot of them, some of them weren't so bad. Like I guess the NBA had a bubble, they called it, where it was just the players and the coaches and the refs. And I think they were all allowed to bring one person in. They had to get tested. And they literally, from what I understand, came in and weren't allowed to leave until they were done for the season.
I think that was if I'm not mistaken, they didn't have a single incident of infection of a player.
Right. No, I don't think so.
It was so controlled. It was so controlled. Yeah. Whereas the NFL wasn't as controlled, and there were many incidents. Yeah.
And the NBA even now, because now we're into a new season since this fucking pandemic is over a year old now, and probably several more to come if we're being honest. But it made me think today, like, what does this mean? Like I read an article in the Wall Street Journal about the pandemic and how it's going to turn eventually at some point in the future into a, what do they call it? Endemic, yeah. Where like the flu or like the measles or like
where it just doesn't go away. It's a part of life.
It's there. It's part of society or
unfortunately
life on Earth, right? And so I was trying to like cheer myself up and go, well, cool. Every day, because you have to, right? Like you can't just live in woe and misery all the time. But I was thinking it's great. Every day, the scientists around the world are learning more and experiencing more. But then I was like, but people are fucking dying every day, and they're still dying at an alarming rate. But it made me think about sports. It made me think about, live music, live performances, movie theaters. Like, if this stuff is going to be around for 3, 5, 10 years, how much, and we've already experienced this more than a year of it, things have changed. And I remember thinking, I hope some of the things that have changed kind of stick around, like, sanitation and food and beverage industry.
Wearing a mask when you're ill.
Away from me. It's like, get the fuck out of my...
Yeah, especially when you're ill ill. Like these are that in the a lot of Asian cultures are already normal. You're ill, you wear a mask because you don't want to make people sick.
Yeah.
But what changes are there going to be that don't go away, that just now become a part of society?
It's interesting. I know this didn't come up in our pre-show discussion, but
it's all right.
As a minority, and maybe Belinda, you can relate to this, but sometimes you feel unseen, and like you'll be out in public and someone just decides to occupy your space as if you don't exist. And there's a certain like
you keep moving forward and scooting away, and they keep moving with you. You're like, stay away from me.
There is an assumed permissiveness when it comes to like a minority or woman. And one thing I do appreciate about the pandemic is these rules about, keep your distance 6 feet, things like that. Because I feel more like a person. It's weird. I'm an introvert, but I feel at least a bit more recognized, like, oh, there is a human there. I need to respect their bubble, right? I need to respect their space. And that's been cool to see. I've also traveled a lot.
For some people, right?
Yeah. I remember going to Asia. And before the pandemic, I thought, man, it's so weird they're wearing masks. Why are they wearing masks? And I would silently ridicule in a sense. I'm not proud of that, but I would silently just be like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, it's not that big a deal. But here we are doing the same things. And I actually hope it stays. There was a report out that the flu was pretty much squashed this year because we were so careful, right?
Right.
That's really not surprising too.
The flu kills people, and yet we were willing to take that risk, right? Because roll the dice, whatever. COVID's interesting because you have these long haulers who get COVID either symptomatically or asymptomatically, but they have lingering side effects.
Yeah,
and it's kind of nerve-wracking. As someone who I enjoy being physically active, I work out every day, even though it's just like 30 minutes. But I love feeling capable. Right. And the idea that my body is now compromised forever, like that's scary for me. It's not just death.
Yeah. So who here has had COVID so far? Will and Kevin? That's it?
I'm trying to remember. Will, yours
we
was
have a
like
50%
fairly asymptomatic, or
mine just felt like I had a cold.
Okay.
Yeah. But
and that's what you hear a lot. Yeah.
So I got it from my roommate. And she also it was like a bad cold. She had it a lot worse than I did. She got more of like the achy symptoms. Yeah. But my brother and his wife, they lost their sense of taste and smell for like a month and a half, if not more. Like, it was, they were worried that they might not ever be able to smell things again.
Oh, hi, Kevin. What's up?
Yes, Kevin.
Yeah, no,
you raised your hand.
I had it. My one of my kids actually likely infected us. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but through his job, and 3 of my 4 children had it, and myself, and it was a solid 2 weeks where I was just out of touch. I was like I would. These 3 would be, texting back and forth as we tend to do all day. And I would wake up and maybe like respond once or twice. And then I'd be down for the count for another 6-8 hours. I was sleeping I never 20 hours a day,
Kevin, but I visited you after COVID and I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, what the fuck is going on with Kevin? Because I felt like your brain was a little bit spacey.
Well, no, I
feel like you had the fog.
I had it. I think my positive test came back like one of the last few days of October, right before Halloween.
Yep.
And it was mid-November, pretty much before my kids and I like felt safe enough to like venture out or asymptomatic and all those things. And not asymptomatic, but not the sleeping 18 to 20 hours a day, aches all the time, every day.
Yeah.
Like one of my children still she said she can smell butter and that's it. I don't really understand what that means, but, and has a little bit of taste, but but not that much. And that's just like this week that's come back.
Wow.
And here we are in February now, right?
That's crazy.
My lost her for a week to 2 weeks. And mine came back and I was like, whoo, because I love to eat and drink. You guys know this. And so that was very sad idea to me. And then a couple weeks later, all of a sudden I had this massive, I don't know what you would even call it. Like, I smell perm, like, I smell
solution,
chemical,
right.
like perm solution. Like if you get your hair permed, if any of our listeners have ever, surely some of them lived through the 80s like me. And my mom was a hairdresser. So, I'm very familiar with that smell, and I smell that. So that started probably right around Thanksgiving, and here we are February, and it's still raring to go. It's waned a little bit here and there, but then it just comes back in full force. And every time it comes back, this is going to sound freaky, I get a massive headache, and then it's back full strength. So shit's fucked up for sure. You
feel okay now? Energy.
Yeah, I still sleep a lot. Like prior to COVID.
I mean, is that a bad thing?
No. It's healthy. It's healthy, but I think it's a sign that my body's still recovering to a certain degree. I'm sleeping 2 to 3 more hours a night.
All jokes aside, it's scary as fuck, man. And
it is.
I just keep thinking like people aren't taking it seriously enough, taking risks. I try to keep in contact with people I know that are also isolated, so that at least there's some responsibility. I don't think isolation entirely is a healthy thing, especially for a year or more. That's a big ask to like say, stay away from people. But I think at least in my circles, there are people who just don't take it seriously at all.
Yeah. I think in all circles, at least here in Utah, like it's.
And guys, it's really not that fucking hard.
It's not.
Right.
Nobody
stay home.
Taking away your fucking rights. Okay. Just wear your goddamn mask.
I don't want to derail the discussion, but yeah, the hypocrisy of like, you're infringing on my rights, and like conservatives saying, oh, but you can't get an abortion. You can't make a decision about your body. Like, fuck you, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of hypocrisy and conservatives,
it's the rum.
It is the rum because I took a couple shots before we started. But, Marjorie Taylor Greene. God,
oh my god! Oh my god!
Damn.
Who
Speaking of
that?
Pandemics,
let's level set here.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Let's see. What is it? South Carolina, North Carolina? Where's she from? North Carolina.
Georgia. 14th district.
Fucking Georgia.
14th district.
That's right.
Yeah,
Georgia's blue. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, it's blue, but her district was. Oh man, there's so many. It's only fucking talk about gerrymandering. Her district was specifically created to create a conservative stronghold and outpost just outside Atlanta.
And it's purple. It's not blue, right? Let's be fair. We like to joke about that. SNL actually just did a great skit about that. If any of you have seen it, but about Georgia being a blue state. What the hell are you talking about? But Georgia has traditionally been a very red state. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is recently elected, not erected. Recently,
don't be Chuck Schumer on our show here. The erection on January 6th. Did you catch that clip, by the way?
Yeah.
So good. I think he did it twice too. I think
he did. He did. Which is fine. We're all human. We're all like to fuck. Sure. We get it.
We all erect. Yeah. No, it's fine. And if you don't, talk to your doctor.
But Bix erect. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
true.
Kevin.
That's true. But I will say that Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you know how sometimes people get canceled because they're like this person and you're like, oh, they're awesome. I love them. And then someone who doesn't like them decides to go back and find something from 10, 12, 15 years ago that they said and then throw it out there.
Like Jimmy Fallon, right? Like they found that blackface video, right? And he got a little canceled.
Yeah.
But he came through and he was like,
this is
oh my gosh, I
bullshit.
cannot believe I did this. Like, I'm like so ashamed. Let me make this right, sort of thing.
Yeah, he owned up to
and
it. Yeah.
I think he's on the up and up, right? Like,
so,
yeah. So he's good now.
See, I wasn't aware of that.
But yeah.
Well, because he took care of
is one of the more conservative late night comedians. I will say that.
I mean, he did follow up to Jay Leno, but Marjorie Taylor Greene just seems insane. I don't have any other way to.
But this is what I'm saying.
For sure.
Sometimes politicians make it in. Justin Trudeau, same thing, right? Like his blackface stuff from college came out and whatnot. But with Marjorie Taylor Greene, they knew who they elected when they elected her. Like she's very, very open and honest about her racism, her sexism, her
xenophobia, her
bigotry in pretty much any way you can be a bigot.
Her Islamophobia. Oh my God, that video of her walking around saying that like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar aren't like actual representatives because they swore in on the Quran. Come on. It's literally in the first fucking amendment. You're not allowed to establish
just a side note, it's not in the Constitution. I've read it. It's not in the Constitution or any sort of rules that dictates what you could swear on a pile of dog shit if you wanted to. You could literally hold a clump of dog shit and swear on it. Yeah.
Well, that's your significant other would, and you'd put your hand on top of it, to be clear. But, I'm making a second cocktail, so keep talking,
Good
please.
Job. Make that second cocktail.
But yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, so cancel culture as a whole has kind of come to the forefront this year, right? Yeah. Like, as far as like, as a term, right?
Well, it's been around. I mean, the Salem witch trials were essentially cancel culture, right? No, I'm being serious. Like,
fuck you, you're dead, you witch.
The Scarlet Letter. I mean, it's a form of ostracization.
Okay, so
shunning, right?
Public shaming, shunning has been a part of our culture. Cool, historically speaking,
for sure.
All right,
of course. Like, I mean, as 3 of us are parents, right? How many of us have put our children in a timeout or taken away privilege
cancel your children
because as a punishment, right? Canceled our kids, right?
I mean, we don't burn them
like,
at the stake, but yeah.
Did you ever give them a timeout just so you could try and take a quick nap? I did that.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Oh, come on, give me a break. Like,
I told my kids to go get in the car for church once, and then I let them sit there, and then I took a nap. So,
Will's like,
they were older. They weren't babies in a hot car, but
Will,
yeah.
Someone's got to create opportunities for therapists, and that's what parents do. Okay?
That's what parents' job is.
I've never heard that before, but that was amazing.
But yeah, cancel culture is interesting, and I hadn't thought of. Okay, so just to give some background here, we talked about this before as we were preparing and trying to decide what to talk about this week. It's certainly something that's come to the forefront with Marjorie Taylor Greene. We saw Donald Trump get essentially deplatformed. Conservatives are using this as a rallying cry to whip up their base and say, oh, we're being unfairly treated. We're being canceled. I don't think they're being canceled per se, but cancel culture in and of itself, as I understand it, is an effort to essentially eliminate a person's capacity to function and profit and benefit from whatever they're doing without some sort of remorse or, I guess, expression of, I fucked up. Here's what I did. Now,
right.
We talked a little bit, have there been examples of people who've, fucked up and been able to redeem themselves and like come back? Yeah. We saw Kevin Spacey essentially get erased out of House of Cards, fucking awesome show, but he was erased. And I haven't finished season 3, not because I love him, but
I mean, I guess it depends on the severity, right? Like how is the severity?
So the punishment being commensurate to the actions that the person did and how they leveraged their position, fame, power, money to take advantage of people. Sure, I get that. Yeah. And as a creator, for me, it's something I've thought about a lot. You know, even like Kanye West, he's fucking genius. Even if he's crazy, even if he said some fucked up shit and done fucked up things, I'm like, he's fucking genius. Michael Jackson.
Kanye is part of the reason we have the term cancel culture. So I was listening to a podcast from New York Times.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to this?
Not the I don't know.
It was from last fall, but it was pretty interesting. And they talked about like what were the origins. Well, that's some shaky bits.
That's an intense shake.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think you could hear it. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
Kevin's
working it, people. Kevin's working it. For those who aren't watching.
No, so it talked about the origins of the term cancel culture. And I guess there was like a video, and I do remember seeing this video of somebody like training somebody at a coffee shop. And they're like, they couldn't make the espresso machine work. And they said, oh, this machine is canceled. This machine is canceled. I love learning the etymology of like terms and phrases and words and whatnot. So that was kind of the
meaning matters.
Start.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I guess Kanye had an interview with somebody, and he was so concerned about his alliance with Trump and how he thought his fans were going to cancel him. And he kept using that term over and over and over. They're going to cancel me. They're going to cancel me. They're going to cancel me. And some did, right? Like, I mean, I think some of us have kind of like, Kanye.
Once he made the hard Jesus pivot, I was like, I'm out, man.
Yeah.
The Jesus pivot mattered. Yeah.
God, when he made that pivot, I was so long gone. I like Kanye. His music's awesome.
It's true.
Then he turned to Jesus, and
Jesus
we went
king.
to the.
Fuck with that.
Kevin and I took our kids to the.
Spencer went too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were all there with your
kids.
kids.
I was there.
And we were all there at that his
Jesus
sermon
rally.
Sort of.
Yeah,
thing.
I
like,
just wasn't feeling it.
It was bullshit, man. It was terrible.
Yeah.
He did that on Sunday in Utah, didn't he?
Yeah, at the Gateway Shopping Center.
But I understand the underlying motivations for wanting to punish those who took advantage of other people, and many times it's sexual, many times it's egregious, many times it's just
racial,
despicable, gross stuff. And I get it. But the sticking point for me is, okay, is there an opportunity for redemption? And what does that look like?
Yeah, I think the hard part about it is we do this all the time, right? In America, in the world, we come up with this name for something. We're talking about it, cancel culture. But we're canceling people for, doing blackface once in college. Awful thing. You shouldn't have done that. That's bullshit. Hopefully you act like Justin Trudeau and Jimmy Fallon did, and
you own your
say,
shit.
This was a major mistake. I blew it. I was young and stupid. I apologize. It's awful. And what can I do to make it better?
So at the same time, in the case of the blackface, I can understand why they didn't offer up that information, because it would have kept Jimmy Fallon from being the Tonight Show host. It would have kept Justin Trudeau from being prime minister.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they own their shit. I appreciate that.
But putting that in the same umbrella, if you will, of being canceled as someone who's, say, a pedophile, or like a racist who has been a lifelong member of the Ku Klux Klan and burn crosses, or a rapist, or whatever the case may be. It's not black and white. It's not binary. It's not like you're either. In my opinion.
What do you mean by
but I feel like
sugar?
Yeah, oh man, I feel like we make it binary by saying, oh, so and so was canceled, and so just hearing the word canceled means, oh, well, they're basically a pedophile then.
So right? let me give you my take, because I kind of I think I've already formed an opinion when we talked about it earlier this week, and I've had this opinion for a while. So I wanted to hear what you guys had to say first, but I don't think there's anything. I don't think cancel culture is real. I don't think there is actually a thing called cancel culture.
What do you mean?
I think there is.
It's a right-wing term that they like to throw around.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. So
it's accountability.
So the way I see it is that there's a thing called accountability culture.
Where
people do shitty things, and the mob regular people, hold them accountable. Is there toxic elements within that like can make people go after somebody for some stupid reason? Of course, there's like 7 billion people on this earth. People are going to do stupid shit. But the vast majority of the time when people get so-called canceled, it's for a legitimate thing. Harvey Weinstein, canceled because he's a fucking sexual predator. The person who ran Fox News, canceled because he's a fucking predator.
Or are you talking about Bill O'Reilly?
Bill O'Reilly is one of them. Yeah, no, I'm talking about I can't.
I mean, Rupert Murdoch canceled.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but
no, it was I forget who it was. Oh, Roger Ailes. Roger Ailes.
Oh yeah, Roger Ailes. That dude. Yeah,
he's a bad dude. He's the one that made Fox News the powerhouse it is. And then
if you guys haven't watched Bombshell, definitely watch it.
But so when I think of cancel culture, what I think of is a talking point that right wingers use whenever they're threatened.
Yeah.
So whenever Tucker Carlson, when his
it's just cancel culture, Will. It's just cancel culture. Yeah.
Exactly. But like when his executive producer was caught on right wing fascist websites, like using literal Nazi talking points and bragging about how he's the one that writes the script for Tucker Carlson's show, even though he's like literally talking Nazi shit online. When Tucker Carlson finally gets held accountable for it, it's just cancel culture. It's these radical leftists online. They're just trying to cancel me. Don't worry about it. It's just cancel culture. So I stipulate that cancel culture is not real.
Okay. So real time update here. Someone named Thomas Brady won their 7th sports ball game. Super sports ball.
Really? God damn it.
Just a heads up.
Yeah, let's cancel Tom Brady.
You mean
Thomas Brady?
Thomas Brady. I'm like,
you mean the man who's the man who's married to the Brazilian model, right?
Oh, Spencer, what was the score of that game?
Bundan or something.
Mr. Brady. Mr. Budden.
Mr. Brady
Bunchen
threw the ball into the place, and the teams decided he won.
Through the slits.
So, yeah,
could you give me the score of that game?
31-7.
9. It was at least 9.
31-9. 31-9. Yeah,
Okay.
because it was 31 to. Hold on, let me look
I
this
think
up.
I might have just won some money.
Woo!
Yeah.
Not in the state of Utah though, because that's
No, it's
31 to 9. Whatever the fuck that means. I just literally don't.
Well,
care.
it's math, Spencer.
Literally don't care.
Yeah, but going back to what I was saying, like, so whenever I hear cancel culture, all I can think about is it's a boogeyman. It's the same way that right wingers use like socialism. Like, oh, we can't do that because socialism.
Helping people is so bad.
So yeah, it's like this big boogeyman. Whenever like there's actual so-called cancel culture things, most of the time it's somebody being held accountable because they did some shitty thing, and they should be held accountable. When
Absolutely.
you do things, you should be held accountable.
So
and how do you redeem yourself when you're being held accountable? You own it. You own it. You learn from mistakes.
I feel like
make restitution, right?
I feel like the closest proxy is the 90s. I mean, we all grew up in the 90s a little bit, and you remember celebrities. I mean, this sounds so hilarious now, but they would get caught doing drugs, and everyone would like lose their shit, and they would check into a rehab.
Right.
I'm checking into rehab. I'm gonna.
They're just gonna figure it out.
And we would all go, "Oh, look at that!"
Poor Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan. You had Paris Hilton. You had Robert Downey Jr. R.I.P. You had
multiple checks in.
Yeah, you had all these people who would check in, and they would redeem themselves. I don't know what the outlet is now. So I posted on my social media channels. I was like, hey, what do you guys think of this? Are there any examples of people who've come back?
Right.
I guess the closest would be Louis C.K., but did he own his shit? I don't know.
I think he's doing
shows.
did, but
he's doing shows.
I think Louis C.K. He used to be my absolute favorite comedian.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
His acts were so great. I think the only thing he really did was he just acknowledged that he did something shitty. But I think he tried to apologize, but he didn't like go through the rigmarole of like reading a book and having a public discussion or anything. He just kind of acknowledged that he was a shitty
There's
person.
no book reading involved. Yeah.
Right.
And to be fair,
no. And like we talked about like how comedians kind of have a past to say edgy things, right? Like
that's what I was going to say. Like, to be fair, Louis C.K. was completely open with the public. Like, he told there was this joke where he talks about how he used to like walk around with cum on his shirt. Like,
I mean, who hasn't, right?
I just thought he was jokes, but he was telling real life stories.
Who hasn't put on a t-shirt that
joking.
was your cum rag?
I mean,
ended up in public.
I mean,
it happens.
yeah.
It happens. It happens.
You say so.
So here's the thing. Louis C.K.'s also made a shit ton of money. You brought up Mr. Brady. Mr. Brady went through a little bit of a cancel when in the Super Bowl he was complicit with cheating in a
deflating
Super Bowl that
balls,
they won.
not
the
his
deflate
own.
gate. Yeah. Deflate gate. And then we can, don't get me fucking started on J.K. Rowling. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. But
okay, so there's
like, if you have money and you get canceled, doesn't mean shit.
Right. So
it doesn't mean shit.
You can't deplatform a billionaire or like a multimillionaire, right? Like you can't.
And by the way, Trump's not a billionaire, so
no, we all know. I think, but literally, like if somebody wanted to cancel Jeff Bezos, it just would not happen, right? You cannot cancel Jeff Bezos. No. You cannot cancel Elon Musk. It's not a thing. And so, somebody in one of I asked, as like Spencer did, like on social media, like, let's talk about what cancel culture is all about. And somebody mentioned how cancel culture is sort of like the privilege or an exception to cancel culture, right? Like, so, all these people who are, extremely wealthy, extremely famous, they're not going to have the repercussions that somebody, further down the chain is going to have. Because like, I mean, Colin Kaepernick, right? Like, he got canceled before cancel culture was a phrase, right? Yeah. Like the right wingers were like so pissed that he didn't, stand up for the national anthem or whatnot. Jesus. And he lost his job, and eventually he got a job with Nike or whatnot. But it was like hardcore canceling of a person, right? And so persons of color, just more like vulnerable people are going to get
LGBTQ.
Well,
LGBTQ. Yeah.
I think the distillation of what you're saying is money talks, and that's true.
True.
Yeah. Money talks.
Yeah.
We talked about capitalism last week, and what's fucked up about that, but it does create a soft landing for people when you have money. You can do fucked up shit, and it's okay.
Well, what's so funny about like when right wingers talk about cancel culture? Oh my God. Like they'll like literally be talking about cancel culture at the same time that they are pitching their book.
Yes.
At the same fucking time.
It's a weird combination of being opportunistic, but also embracing a victim mindset. It's weird.
True. So like Mike Lindell this week, right? So my pillow dude. My pillow.
Oh, my pillow.
Oh my God.
He got X
Fluffy.
From Twitter.
Let's just call him Fluffy from now on.
Mr. Fluffy was shooed away from Twitter. But who was the other dude who was like, so some kid, I can't remember the kid's name. We'll find out this kid's name. He was like, he and his friend were like, let's put him out of business. And they started
David Hogg.
Yes, David Hogg. They were like, let's start our own pillow company. And so all the conservatives were like, oh my God, this is communism. And everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, this is not communism. This is like the free market, you absolute like piece of shit.
God.
Like what the
pillow
fuck
companies are not communism. Yeah. I see you, Spencer. I see you.
Communism.
Dre and nephews, it'll fuck you up.
Drinking is like walking to the edge of a cliff, and then sometimes you fall off the edge. I am in free fall right now. I saw that with Mike Lindell and Mr. Hogg.
Right.
The survivor.
Boss Hogg?
I don't remember his name, but he's a survivor of the Parkland massacre.
Exactly.
But
right.
Oh, not Boss Hogg then.
No. No,
Sorry.
but I mean, like, he wants to start his own pillow company, and right wingers are like losing their shit over this.
What?
And
I don't understand why they think
right-wingers-
it's communism.
Well, they like to throw in socialism and communism out as like terms to like indicate that it's not
Because
something
he
they
was
enjoy.
a victim and then started
Yeah.
business. It must be
Well,
communist.
maybe
Well, going back to Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Fuck that lady.
she literally
Oh,
I
sorry.
wouldn't want to.
would chase down Mr. Hogg after like months. No. So David Hogg saw his classmates murdered in front of his eyes, and Marjorie Taylor Greene chased after him.
Can we edit this out?
street.
Jesus.
Stop, Will.
She chased after him down the street, saying that he was a crisis actor and that the whole thing was made up. She's
Oh my God, are you
fucking horrible
serious?
person.
Oh yeah, I've
she's
seen
a
the
horrible
video.
person.
I've seen the video.
Yeah, there's videos of her chasing him down the street.
No, so
And
like
I didn't mean to laugh. Let me just.
We're not editing.
I'm not.
anything
I'm
out.
not laughing at
This
Mr.
is
Hogg.
this is ultimate. This is like peak thirst impressions right now.
that is true. That is true.
I am fucked
So-
up. You're fucked up. We're good.
The
We're all
phraseology of it was just a little funny. And
But yeah, it's fucked up.
a
She
lot
was
of
fucking chasing this dude whose
No, she's an
friends
asshole.
were murdered and teacher.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's just
It's
be
true.
clear.
Oh my God.
She's an asshole. She's
a terrible
Karen,
person.
to use another phrase. You know,
that's too
Yeah.
generous.
Right.
And-
Well, like,
yeah.
And this week she tried to redeem herself by it was the dumbest fucking thing where she's like, guys, I gotta tell you, 9/11 was real.
Like,
Like,
she's.
that's-
Oh my God.
That's
Thank you.
really, thanks for joining the rest of society. Well,
What were
now
you saying,
can you
Belinda?
please explain the Jewish space lasers that supposedly start forest fires? Like, what the fuck? God.
I don't even remember what I was going to say. But
And by the way, if
Oh,
anyone's listening to
that's
this in the
right.
future, like, look this up. This is real shit. We're not making this up. Go ahead, Belinda.
So somebody in a thing, like an article I read was like, oh, cancel culture is trying to like end edginess, like being an edgy person, right? Like, so like there are people with a dark sense of humor, right, in the
Sure.
world. And
Me.
we all, the four of us, we kind of know each other's, sense of humor as well. And sometimes we send each other things that are not in the best taste, shall we say, right?
Sure.
Like,
But
that
you know
if
your
somebody knew
audience. Yeah.
right. We know our audience, right? So we, yes,
The meme I sent right before we started filming. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did I miss that one?
So, somebody was like, oh, like that's going to put an end to like this dark humor or like people saying edgy shit, they can't say that anymore because they'll be canceled. Well, you know what? Like, I feel like there's a difference between having a dark sense of humor. Like we have a few friends, right, on the internet. They have post memes and things, right, Kevin, that like they're questionable in taste and or subject.
Sure.
And we giggle wholeheartedly at them. But, to the average viewer, they would be sometimes horrific, right? Like,
Sure.
this person is not going to get canceled, right? Like, they're not going to get canceled because nobody gives a fuck about like what they're saying. But
if you're listening to the podcast, you need to watch. I'm just saying.
Just subscribe on YouTube. Please
Sorry-
subscribe on
sorry,
YouTube.
Belinda. Go ahead.
why? What's happening?
I'm so gone.
Spencer's had overproof rum in quantity, and he's feeling the effects of it right now.
Oh,
I feel
God.
really, really good for my
I'm-
regular rum. but-
Shirt's falling
I'm
off.
making my third one, so I'm on my way there.
Yeah, boy. Okay.
Rum
But
is
I mean,
different.
but let's move to like, so we've got celebrities being canceled, right? Like, what about regular people? Like Barbecue
Yeah, what about-
Becky, like people in the Central Park, like bullshit things like this that happen every day,
Well-
racist, sexist bullshit that happens, and people get canceled, right?
Okay. Let me pause this for a second though.
Pause it.
We've got celebrity level, which is kind of the height
Right.
of it. We've got mid-level, which is like Barbecue Becky goes viral. Like people around the country or even the world know about it, but they don't know Becky, right? Like I don't
Right.
even know if that's her real name. And then we have like this lower level stuff that's actually the scariest shit to me. And this is like your circle of people or your like extreme circle of people. So like we're a circle, we're very close, we interact daily, we whatever. And then you have these people who are your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, your YouTube followers, whatever the case may be. So cancellation at that level, I feel like the higher level allows for way more flexibility in that redemption factor that we talked about, like going to fucking, a Malibu based, recovery place, like Spencer talked about earlier. Those people get forgiven for a lot of things, or just saying fucking, I'm sorry publicly goes a long way, right? Jimmy Fallon, like all these things we've talked about. The mid-level people, they're kind of fucked, but it doesn't matter too much because like most of the people who hate them don't know them. Like it's not a constant influence. But what about the people at this lower level who get canceled in their arena, whether it be at work, on social media, in a friends group, at school, if you're a kid, whatever, unfairly, or maybe even fairly, but at an extreme level. Like you fucked up. We all fuck up at some point in our life, multiple times.
Got canceled in elementary school, right? Like by a group of kids, right? Like how many of us got ostracized by a group of children our same age in our grade or in our class, right? And they shunned us in some way. And it's like society's way of punishing deviant behavior, right? Like they're like, this is not cool with us. You can't.
I'll tell you what.
With us at lunch.
So I stopped attending the church when I was in high school.
The Mormon church?
Yeah.
What church, Will?
The Mormon church.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. TM.
Power in the priesthood.
It's a habit, I know. But I don't really think that's canceling. So there was a girl, I gotta say like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago now, who she lost her phone in the hotel lobby. And there was this black kid that was like just in the lobby because they're in a fucking hotel. And of course, this seemingly white, I don't know if she was actually white. She might have been Latina. I have no idea whatsoever. She started attacking this like black kid who was like 15 years old, maybe 14 years old. Like
why?
Just this kid, because she thought that he stole her phone. And then she proceeded.
Because it was an iPhone. Nobody else has iPhones.
Black people don't buy iPhones. What the fuck are you talking about?
And then she proceeded. So like this video goes viral because of course, like
we're too poor.
Because her phone ended up being like in the manager's desk. So like,
because someone found it and took it to the front desk, right? Yeah. And they were like, "Shit, I found a phone. Here you go."
Yeah, like it normally happens. Anyways, so she gets invited onto some news program. And she's being interviewed and she's all like, I'm not racist. How could I possibly be racist? I just thought that he stole my phone. And then she kept on doing things like,
as opposed to the multitude of white people who are milling around also in the hotel lobby.
Exactly. And then she
also carrying iPhones.
And she also was doing things. And the person interviewing her was black. And she would do things like, it's my turn now. Like shitty things like that. Like this person is so fucking entitled. Anyways, my whole point in telling this is, so of course the internet like piled on her. They called her racist.
As they
called
should.
her because
she is.
I hope she never is employable.
Yeah, but I don't think that means that person is unemployable. I don't. I think if she goes into some place and she's asking for a job, she can explain what happened. And then she can personally tell the person that she's interviewing with that she was in the wrong, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
It's maybe if she had a job at like Starbucks or something, maybe Starbucks would fire her because Starbucks doesn't want the PR, but her life is not ruined. It's right. I don't think that there's really this thing called cancel culture for regular people. I think at the time, like people can get fired.
Right.
And for the companies to save face. Like if you're caught on camera being like a racist piece of shit,
storming
of course you're going to get fired.
Or storming the Capitol. That works too.
Yeah. But
you might get fired.
That's how it should be.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to hold some sort of power, even if it's just like a cashier register. Like, you should be taught a lesson. I'm sorry. I don't think that's canceling. Now, if it goes further, this is where I'm more concerned about so-called cancel culture. Is I've grown up on the internet my whole entire life. I'm 24 years old. My birthday was just the other day. And
happy birthday, Will.
Happy
thank
birthday. You. What day, Will? Because
yesterday.
Tell us.
Don't
Jesus
tell-
Christ,
don't tell
what?
us. What's your social security number?
I'm making notes.
By the way, this was filmed in the spring and summer sometime.
Yeah, it's the last four
rails.
digits of my credit card number, Spencer.
Oh,
Anyways, so I've grown up on the internet. I've grown up on social media. My whole entire life has existed when social media has existed. And what I'm more concerned about is creating a culture. Well, the culture is already there, is having a culture where posts that you've made from like 10 to 20 years ago affect you in today's age. Like, when I was like fucking 13 years old, I used to be a piece of shit. I used to say not good things.
Like,
I
call
deleted
people
all those
out
posts, so I don't even know what I used to say. But I'm worried that we're going to get to a time where people are looking at like 13-year-old Will and judging me on what 13-year-old Will used to be like.
Right.
That's more what I'm concerned about, but I don't think that's necessarily cancel culture. I still think that's accountability culture.
Yeah.
And we just need to understand that people change over time.
I mean, there's a difference between a 13-year-old 10, 11 years ago and someone who was 38, 10, 11 years ago and now is 48, 49 years old. For example, I can't think of his goddamn name right now. The director, the person who was supposed to be the director for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yes. And then Disney fired him because some right-wing groups were like, look, this guy's a douche. Oh, sorry. This guy's a bad person. And now I'm going to be canceled. Now I'm going to be canceled. God damn it.
Next week, it'll just be me, Belinda, and Spencer.
Kevin, you're
and
canceled.
A big X where Kevin's picture used to be.
Either I'll be canceled or I'll die from COVID. One way or the other. I'm gone next week. Yeah. But no, like, and oh, by the way, they fired him. And then they hired him back.
That was James.
Really?
James Gunn, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Guardians of the Galaxy
Galaxies
3.
of the Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're
Guardians.
They're extremes, right? Like, so Spencer, on your Facebook post about this, right? Like, you had a friend, a Facebook friend that mentioned that somebody had contacted him wanting one of his employees to be fired for calling her a Karen. Do you remember this?
Oh
no.
God.
You didn't see that? Oh my God. So one of your Facebook friends, I was reading through all the comments. There were many. And this person had received an email or message of some sort saying that one of his employees should be fired immediately because he called her a Karen. He said, God. Okay, Karen. And by firing. Like, oh my, well, obviously we can go to extremes, right? Like, this kid, I'm sure he was a kid. Like, he was probably like in his early 20s or teens. Like,
No offense, Will.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
But like, he said, okay, Karen. And she was deeply offended. Probably because she was like, Karen.
The boss who was asked to fire that person, did he just respond with, okay, Karen?
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, Chad.
Find out.
Okay, but here's how I view those type of situations of the extremes. You're right. It is they're outliers.
Right.
I personally feel maybe this is a little callous and privileged to say, but if my employer came to me and was like, "Hey, Will, you're being fired because you called someone a Karen," I don't want to work for that person.
Exactly.
Like if I'm gonna get fired over dumb shit, I would rather have my freedom to say whatever the fuck I want without being fired. So go ahead and fire me. I don't give a shit.
So Kevin made these necklaces that were great, and I have one here, and it says, I should have worn it tonight. Christ. It says, "Okay, Boomer."
I didn't come up with the phrase. I just
he didn't come up with the phrase, but he made it.
Okay, Boomer.
It's cute. It's so cute. And I should have worn it tonight. God, I wish.
Shout out. That's not a shout out. That's hashtag. But
pause. I'm gonna put on
shout
the
out,
Boomer.
Shout out to
necklace.
Spencer, not Spencer Newt, not Spencer, my friend, but Spencer, my child, who asked me to make them. By the way,
Here, pause.
Belinda's up.
What just happened? Belinda has to pee. Like
no.
Believe.
She went to go get the necklace that says "Okay, Boomer."
She's gonna go get the necklace. It's all good.
I use "Okay, Boomer" in inordinate. I don't use words. An inordinate
amount of times.
I use it so frequently.
I don't know if we should drink rum ever again.
Certainly not overproof.
Not overproof rum.
I'm quite drunk.
Several times, Spencer, your hat bill has just ended up on your microphone.
Get show that closer to the camera. I love that. I need that necklace.
See, it was a good week for me to wear a necklace because
I think so. I should have worn a pearl necklace.
It even matched my earrings. Dang it! I should have thought to wear this. So here's the "Okay, Boomer" necklace.
I guess we can't zoom. I can't. I'm trying to double tap on my screen and it isn't working.
All I want to do is zoom, zoom, and the boom, boom.
See, you guys are so fancy. I don't wear any jewelry. I'm thinking about getting my ears pierced. So hopefully I won't get canceled for that. So, I used to be painting my nails like all the time, but I haven't.
Yeah. I don't know if this was said earlier or not, and I probably won't remember much of what I've said, but my hope with this whole cancel culture phenomenon or thing or whatever, agenda, banner, is that we can make space for grace and allow people to attempt to redeem themselves. And I know it feels shitty, like, yeah, you got caught, so that's not enough. You should have offered up yourself on this altar for sacrifice. And it's like, I get it. But once you're caught, like, can we create space for grace? I don't know.
I think that's been the whole point of it. Like, I think anybody who has come forward and said, yeah, I messed up. I mean, with exception of people who've done like really extreme things like rape, molestation, whatever. If you've been just a jackass, right? Like, and then you come forward and you say, yes, I was a terrible person. I want to be better, right? Like, we've given them redemption, right? Like, we've given them, like, oh, you're back on track. We're cool.
Right. Right.
It's the people that are resistant, right? Like, they just are like, no, they fight back. They make excuses. They just like can't stop defending their abhorrent behavior, and that's the problem.
I'm with you, Belinda and Spencer, because like I was saying earlier, it really is a big concern of mine with my generation, which I'm like in the middle of like millennials and Gen Z. I was like born like right on the borderline.
Yeah, I'm a Zennial. You're like in that space. I think Belinda's technically a Gen X.
Whoa.
Right? Technically.
No, she's a millennial.
Slur.
No, I
don't think you're millennial. I'm a Zennial. So I'm like just outside of
what's your social security number?
I thought I was a Zennial.
Since we're all giving out all of our information this time.
I had a friend whose social security number was the same as her phone number and her address. And
Shut the
I don't know what's
door.
freakier.
What?
Hail Satan.
Yes.
Hail Satan.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hail Satan. Yeah.
Jesus Christ made that happen.
What I was saying was
True.
So like I hope what people can kind of take away from all of this and from even just observing right wingers talking about cancel culture, and even they're not left wingers, but like centrists on MSNBC and CNN and whatnot.
Assholes. That's how we refer to
it. Make room for nuance.
Just kidding.
There is no black and white. There isn't. That people can do shitty things and then they can learn from it. So let's give people the space and encourage them to learn from it. Because if we're just canceling people because we fucking hate them, that's stupid. That's so fucking stupid.
You can hate them without canceling them, right?
I don't
No.
think any of those have been the case, right?
Let's cancel them.
Have you guys been canceled or at least attempted to be canceled? For some people?
One time I had the new governor quote tweet one of my tweets, and he didn't like what I had to say, and I had to delete it and go on private because I was scared of shit. But
and what about another official in your neighborhood, right? But you worked it out. You redeemed your shit with that.
I've also had,
or they redeemed their shit
with my city's treasurer, and we had a beer, and it was a nice discussion. But like, that's what I'm saying is like, we cannot have a culture where we cancel each other and then not give room for redemption. There needs to be redemption. Because when we cancel people, there's a reason, and if there's a reason, then they can actually make up for it. Unless it's
the problem is when people are in
rape and like these horrible misdeeds. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, if somebody's doing is being a racist piece of shit, let them come out and start a discussion so that they can convert their supporters to not be as racist. That we need to move forward.
But how often does that happen?
It doesn't ever.
I feel like the people who redeem themselves, it's usually people who did shit in the past and have had a little time to like figure their shit out and be like, oh, that was a bad idea,
I don't know if it's just a factor of the media and how things are reported, but I can't identify any examples of people who volunteered information.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
And then when they get caught and they're indignant, that's the problem. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, to come full circle, she has been somewhat indignant and backed up by Kevin McCarthy and many other Republicans.
Jesus Christ.
But that's what I'm saying is so far the only strategy to fight being canceled is to double down. I'm saying we need to create an environment where the strategy to beat canceling is to actually make yourself better. We need to create
right.
Otherwise, it's just going to get more divided. We're going to get pushed further and further towards like woke culture and further towards white nationalism.
I think that's the main idea of what's happening in general is people trying to help people like understand this isn't cool, man. Like you can't do that.
No, and this has happened for the history of humankind, right? Like somebody gets ostracized for deviant behavior or thoughts or actions, right? Like, so we send them off. Like, what's something historical that we can?
Scarlet Letter.
The Scarlet Letter, absolutely, right? Like she was immorally, unclean or whatever, and she was branded, and so that was her punishment, right? Like ostracized by her community, whatnot. The problem is like, I feel like the bulk of the people who are canceled permanently are the people who are resistant, right? Like there are people that don't have any remorse. They don't care, right? Like they believe they're in the right.
There's also this weird mentality. It's like, okay, I've canceled this person. They fucked up. They did shit, whatever. It's been unearthed and is now in the light. And now their entire body of work is considered to be irrelevant. And I don't know how to necessarily reconcile that. And I'm not saying I justify what the person did. Right. But even fucking MLK and Gandhi, they did fucked up shit.
Well, we're all flawed, right?
That's what I'm saying with the nuance. Like, it's just
Mother Teresa.
Like, we really need to create a culture where we can call somebody out and then give them the space to actually redeem themselves.
Instead of cancel culture, it should be call out culture. Like, yo, you fucked up. Here's your opportunity to redeem yourself.
So actually, Barack Obama called it call out culture early on, like in 2018 or whatnot. Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah. So he had a speech at a college or something like that where he called it call out culture. It's like, you know what? This thing where you like call out people for all this stuff, it's like not cool, right? And so he spoke out against, the process. I don't know. I'm drunk. I can't talk anymore. But anyway,
he didn't like it.
The idea of like, crowding around somebody and being like, pointing fingers at a person for an action or thought or word that they had made for, something. But But I don't know. I think there's like
there's
a
nuance, right?
bit of entitlement to that, right?
Let me bring this back to a personal story then, because from anything that I've learned from the Bernie campaign specifically is that people relate better when you tell personal stories.
True.
So what I was saying was earlier was that like in high school was when I stopped going to church. And during this time, I felt canceled. Like I felt like everybody was out there against me. All my friends that I grew up with, they just didn't talk to me anymore. It was a shitty experience to go through.
Yeah.
And I think if we created a culture, Spencer, you had maybe it was you, I don't know. Somebody had talked about like In-N-Out culture, like
In-N-Out burger culture.
That would be awesome.
Animal. Oh.
Like this whole
animal
idea,
style.
You said something wrong and a group's going after you. It's kind of the same thing where like if you say like a racist thing, the good people are going to come after you.
Yeah.
I'm saying let's not form a In-N-Out group culture. I'm saying let's form like what Spencer said and what I guess Obama said about having a call out culture. Let's call them out for it. And maybe for a few days, maybe for a week or two, it kind of feels like people are ganging up on them.
Right.
All I'm saying is there needs to be a way to allow people to explain themselves and allow people to grow and to learn. Because if we don't have that, we're just going to form these groups. And when we form these groups, we're always going to be at battle. And when we're always at battle, we can't progress. We're just going to be dragging each other down. Like the fucking lobsters in a boiling water where all the lobsters pull the other lobsters that are trying to climb out.
They do?
So I have an example of that from this week.
Let's hear it.
And I think it's closer to I think it means what you're saying, Will.
I don't ever want to drink rum on this show again.
Are you, hey, Spencer?
Spencer,
are you okay?
drink rum. That's why
I've had one cocktail and I'm just fucked.
Well, but that cocktail.
You said you pre-gamed a little bit, so
I mean, I did, but
Well, we'll wrap here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Spencer and I know a person, very generically, like not in real life.
In the biblical sense?
Yes, we knew him. No, he lives on the other side of the country to a certain degree, and we know him from a Facebook group or whatever, and don't know him well, right? At least I don't. Maybe
I still
maybe
have
you
no
do,
idea who the
Spencer,
fuck you're talking about.
And he said some things on his personal Facebook page, which he's entitled to say.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Are you racist? Like, what the fuck?" And so Spencer, what he said is actually, I think, what I've learned as I've thought more and more about cancel culture or whatever we want to call it. He said, posts like this are a good filter for me. And I think everything's nuanced, right? Like, like someone raping someone or someone.
It was about the Morgan Wallen saying the N-word controversy.
Right. And I haven't heard that person's music before, but I understand the idea of a white person using that word and then him saying, but I was working out in the gym and I heard like a dozen other songs that use that word with black artists. And isn't that just the same? Isn't it? But anyway, like we're all rolling our eyes, like literally rolling our eyes as I say that. Because it's like such a like, okay, dude, like for real, like
white people. Hey, white people don't say the N-word. It's not that fucking
It's pretty
hard.
simple.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
No.
Like, just don't say it. Just don't fucking say it.
And also just side note, also other people saying like stuff like white cracker, that's not racist towards white people. I'm sorry.
And if you're mad that rap songs are in the top 10, maybe make better music instead of country. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
call out culture right there.
All right.
Anyway,
sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
No, anyway, what I'm saying is there's nuance to everything, right? Like this dude, I don't know him very well. Like I know him from a few posts. Like he posts a fair amount of shit in the group, but I don't pay attention to the group. So like whatever. But no offense to people who may be listening who are in the group. But I guess what I'm saying, is a filter, an individual filter is important. And when someone says something like this gentleman said, it makes me go, oh, okay, I'm paying less attention to what you're saying because what you said kind of doesn't make sense to me or compute or whatever. And I may even talk to you. I may call you out a little bit on Facebook, or I may just send you a personal message and say, dude, have you thought about this?
There are words that my friends who speak Spanish use with each other. I'm not going to use those words. I know what they mean. I'm not going to use them because, hey, I'm not a part of that group.
Yeah.
And I know my lane, and it's okay. I can appreciate it. Sure. Even if they produce music that has those words, I wouldn't repeat them. And that's okay. Right. Like, I don't feel threatened. I don't feel jealous, whatever. I have Asian friends, same thing. They have cultural references, things that are not mine, but I respect the space and my place, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But white people, for some reason, at least some that I've observed, not you guys, obviously, but some that I've observed, they're just like, hey, why can't we say the word? Why can't we do it?
We really want to say it.
Just fucking make better music. You've got Taylor Swift.
I liked what you said, though, Spencer.
It's all good.
I say this to my fellow white people.
What did he say? Tell us more.
I say this to my fellow white people. If you want to say the N-word, say it.
Yes. That's what Spencer said.
But own the fallout.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
just know you're a racist. It's fine.
Just fucking say it. If you want to say it so bad.
If it's so important to you, say it.
Yeah. Just do it. Let's see how it turns out.
I mean, I won't name names and give specific instances, but as a black man dating in Utah, I've had instances where people I've dated have said it, assuming a certain level of comfort. That's uncomfortable. But go ahead, Kevin. I know you had something to say.
No, I guess what I'm just saying is, in my mind, cancel culture is an individual thing. So in my mind, it is real, but it should be real on a personal level, in that we filter down. Spencer, stay upright, dude. Yeah. We filter down, and if you're not seeing what we're seeing, then you really should subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, but just like 2 minutes.
But what I'm saying is, it should be a personal cancel culture where once I filter down enough, and we all have to individually come up with whatever that level is of, oh, okay, you said this kind of shitty thing on Facebook. I talked to you about it, and you were like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was a shitty thing to say. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. Or like, fuck you. Like, I can say what I want. Black people use that in their own songs all the time. And then eventually I get to a place where I'm like, I don't need you in my life anymore. I've done that personally. I've done that with family. I've done that with friends where I've had to say, you know what? The way you treat me or the way you treat other people is derogatory enough and painful enough and hurtful enough that I don't need you in my life anymore.
Right.
So while I agree with you, Will, that cancel culture in the way that the media tends to portray it isn't really a real thing. It's kind of this excuse almost, if you will. I do think there's some value in embracing the ability we have to hear from people, even in a pandemic, all the time, and use that as a filter to keep people in your life that are like-minded or whatever, and get rid of the trash.
So I'll wrap with something personal here. I, as an ex-Mormon, Mormonism is interesting because you grow up in it and then you leave and then you experiment and you figure your shit out and you fuck up, and I fucked up.
Yeah. Kevin
knows the story.
Yeah. No, I'm perfect.
Belinda knows a bit of it. I wasn't my best self. I wasn't my most honest self. And I'm not proud of it, but I actually embraced what I did, and I volunteered information to people that I think I needed to, just to make sure that I was possessing of integrity and just saying, yeah, I fucked up. I did this. Here's what I did. And you know this person, cool, here's the situation. Some people are willing to accept that and be like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. You know, Kevin was one of those people. Belinda is one of those people. We have some other friends as well. Some people are like, no, I don't want to listen to you, man. I don't fucking care. And I appreciate that gesture and that space that was given to say, yeah, Spencer, you know what? You fucked up and it's okay. And as humans, none of us are perfect for sure. Nope. And I don't offer that as a platitude to say, and just like, let me just paste over this whole thing and say, oh yeah, we're not, none of us is perfect, but
it's fine. It's fine.
As a whole in society, I wish others could have the experience I had, which is to say, you know, give people an opportunity to say what they did, what their intentions were, and just own their shit.
Yeah.
You know, I think magical things can happen. My friendships have become more meaningful and more significant because of it. And I recognized what I did and I resolved to do better. And I have been.
Right.
And
that's kind of how I felt with like if people are starting to pile on me on social media after something I've said, even if it was something like I truly believe, like I've had a pretty radical group of Mormons start to bombard my posts. And to me, all that tells me is there is a better way that I could have made my point. There is a way that I could have approached their point of view in something that was a little bit less offensive. And I should probably learn from that. And not saying that like them trying to cancel me because I completely disagree with them is like right or whatever. It just means that I should have maybe done better.
You know, sometimes it's easy to say, oh, old people or older people are assholes, but it's more just like,
okay, boomer.
Get to a point where you just don't give a fuck and you are comfortable owning your shit. And that's where I'm at. It's like, I'm comfortable owning my shit. If somebody wants to call me out, cool. And if it's real, I'll accept it and be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I did this thing.
Right.
Let me think on that.
I feel like, and this could go on for 2 more hours, but I feel like it lies in the democratization of communication, right? Like all of a sudden, everybody has an available platform on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatnot. There's this democratization of platforms, right? Like, so, you know, anybody can say whatever they want
to the world
and have it, you know, oh my God. But really, like, I can't talk.
No, Belinda, okay. you're making
a good point.
No.
I'm losing my train of thought. It just is like,
I'm so sorry.
You're completely right. Like
this is the best thirst impressions
like,
moment.
In the past, like think
up.
about like the 17 or 1600s. Like if you wanted to make a point to the community, like how did you do it? You had to have cash. You had to be able to like have a platform of some sort to say something to the world, right? Like, and now we have that for everyone, right?
I know,
like
that's an interesting
Twitter,
point.
Right?
That's an interesting point. Maybe Will can appreciate this, but if the world were more equitable, at least in a monetary sense, maybe there would be more room for grace and acceptance and forgiveness and things like that. But there's almost a vindictive quality or tone to this whole idea of cancel culture. It's like, yeah, the have-nots are going to say, fuck you, because you're rich and you're privileged and you've used that privilege to take advantage of people. So I can understand that and appreciate it. And I wonder if the world were more equitable, if there'd be more room to say, yeah, you know what, bro, you fucked up. Tell us about it.
Let me bring in some. So this is me wrapping my point now is, let me bring in the class consciousness part of this into it. Cause I love that, Spencer. Right.
And by the way, that should be an episode in the future. Class
consciousness. Yeah.
So you're totally right, because a lot of people that try to like weaponize this idea of cancel culture, they're the rich ones. They're the people in power. They're the people who have a voice. And so if you haven't noticed on Twitter, they added this new feature where you can selectively allow who can reply to your tweets.
What?
Really?
You can make it so that only people you follow or people you mention in your tweet can respond to the tweet.
A bit more like Facebook.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A little bit more like Facebook. Even though the tweet is still public to everybody. It's only people can't reply to it. I think it's kind of a response to these rich people and these people with power and these people with a vast amount of privilege are mad because regular people can actually express their frustrations. I had this interaction with fucking Elon Musk where I fucking told him to let his workers unionize. And all the fucking sudden I got all these people in my DMs like threatening my life. Like yeah, no, it's fucking shit. But I think you're totally right about that. And you, Spencer, and Belinda, I think you guys made such great points.
And me flipping the bird was for those people, not for you, Will. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the clarification.
Of course.
I'm so intoxicated.
There is no drama in our ranks.
Oh God, we should have an episode
impressionists
about the democratization of the world.
Wait, you're breaking down so hard. I didn't even
we should have an episode about
the democratization.
God damn it. I think my kids are gaming and my internet connection's fucked.
Okay, so what did you say?
No, we should have a whole episode about the no, just kidding. The democratization of the world through Twitter and other platforms that allow people to have a voice,
right?
And like Will.
We should talk about deplatforming and First Amendment type stuff.
Like you conversing with the richest man in America at one point in the last month.
That's incredible. And I would love to hear from you guys listening, watching, whatever. Leave a comment or reach out to us and let us know what you think about that whole idea.
By the way, we have a lot of listeners we hear from through email, Slack, DMs, whatever. And we've encouraged a few of you, and you have, and we really appreciate it. But comment on YouTube, comment. We have a website coming out soon. We have social media platforms, all those things.
Follow us on Twitter. I will try to do a better job at being more responsive on Twitter and posting good content because I've done a very bad job, and I apologize.
But tell us what's the Twitter handle for those who haven't followed?
Follow us at ThirstPod. Just ThirstPod.
Very nice. And Thirst Impressions Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And then our URL, our domain for our website that will be coming out in the near future is thirstimpressions.show. .show. We paid extra for that because, we love you.
All right. We love what we do.
Cute.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. This has been awesome. Yeah, this has been awesome. I am fucked up.
We will not use what is it?
Overproof rum.
I just poured rum into my coupe.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. One of these weekends, I'm speaking gibberish. Okay. One of these times, a year and a half ago. 2 years ago. Spencer and Belinda and I went on a Sunday bar crawl.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. We ended up Alibi.
It was so great. And you introduced us to Ray and Nephew's Overproof Rum. Was it White Horse?
It was White Horse. Yeah, it was White Horse. Local bar here in Utah.
And we got so fucked up. We went to so many. We went to Alibi. We went to Cheers to You.
Fun.
We wanted to go to Martins, but
they're closed now. They no longer exist.
Oh, that's too bad. All right, guys, it's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hit us up with any comments, feedback, whatever. We're open. We're gonna keep rolling and keep the show going. So
if you want an OK Boomer necklace, just let me know.
I want one, Kevin.
Okay. They're $1 million.
$1 billion.
Can you laser cut a necklace that looks like a dick, please? That's
like a dick. I will make a dick necklace. Gold. Would you like gold?
Oh, fuck.
Sure.
Black and gold.
Yeah.
All right,
black
guys.
And yellow, black and yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Fucking rum, man. This shit fucked me up. It was Antasia.
Hey, this is Thirst Impressions, and we love you. You're in for a treat tonight.
Oh my God, I'm so drunk.
Banged it on your microphone?